After Trump's presidency's 2,000 some odd drone strikes in a 2-year period of time, at a rate of about 3 a day, had finished happening. And it was pointed out, because this was being reported, that this exceeded Obama's 1,882 drone strikes in an 8-year period of time, one every 1.5 days. And that's if this is long after Obama was no longer in office. So the transparency rules of revealing this information later on did actually give us a fairly accurate count, or very accurate count, of the total number done by the Obama administration in total versus the ones he signed off on, because those are two different numbers. March 2019 versus 2016 rule. March 2019, Trump revoked the Obama-era superfluous distracting rule on accurately reporting drone strikes because he had exceeded the total number of drone strikes in the entire administration, not the ones that Obama signed off on. You can use a drone to respond to an attack and be perfectly legitimate militarily. We're talking about ones that would require a signature from the president or authorization from House, Senate, somebody. In Trump's first 2 years, he had authorized as well, but up to that date, March 2019, those rules required that drone strikes be reported accurately, including the ones he signed. Because if it requires the president's signature or some other form of authorization beyond simple tit-for-tat attacking, that was part of the recording. Obama authorized 542 out of the 1,800 such U.S. drone strikes in 8 years. That means he actually is responsible for signing a piece of paperwork. I would give him the responsibility for all 1,800 and such. But in 8 years, he signed one every 5.4 days, personally. Which means you could definitely say he can't claim not to have blood on his hands. And the majority of them were in Afghanistan, then Pakistan, Yemen, and then Somalia. That's over an 8-year period of time. All right? Now, that number is a drone strike every 1.5 days by the government, and by Obama, one every 5.4 days. Trump, until he made it to where you couldn't find out whether he authorized anything or whether the government authorized something or the government did it, in the entire period of time he was in office, we only know of him signing almost 400 fucking personally authorized drone strikes. In half the time Obama did 542 that we have records of. And again, Obama's been out of office for 4 years, and Trump can dig that information up, and it was actually revealed over time. Whether Obama tried to hide it or not is no longer relevant. He does not have a right to control that information. And yes, the military wanted this transparency killed as well. Trump did it. So people crow about Trump only authorized almost 400 compared to the 540 some odd done by Obama. But Trump did it in 2 fucking years. That was the 2-year mark. That's when it stopped being recorded. In 2 years, he did almost as much shit as 8 years of Obama, if you want to blame it personally. But okay, what was the total number of drone strikes done by the Trump administration? Because again, you're making the president guilty of what the government does. Well, Trump's always innocent because he's draining the swamp, right? Go ahead and just start cat-like typing. 8 years of Obama was 1,882 drone strikes. 4 years of Donald Trump, and that's if we have accurate records, shows 12,102 drone strikes in a 4-year period of time versus 8 years to produce 1,882 under Obama. People have been waggling this in my face about drone strikes, and Trump is merciful. What does that work out as? Again, Trump authorized, or under Trump, up to the point that we have accurate data for timing, in a 2-year period of time, worked out to 3 a day done by the government. And him signing off on it, that works out to Trump authorizing once every 3.7 days. Personally. Obama authorized once every 5.4 days. That's using a 1,461 day term for 4 years. Calendar days, because it's a 4-year term. You can actually learn the number of days because there's a leap day and that sort of thing. It actually works out. You can check these things. It's an averaging out. 1 day off isn't relevant here. We're doing a large scan, a long enough time span. Someone posted, remember when Orange Man called off an airstrike because of the guaranteed loss of life over a very expensive drone? A drone strike out of 12,000 fucking drone strikes. Under us understanding that he made it not able to be visible that he did this. In March of 2019. Where did all these drones go? Well, again, for Obama, over an 8-year period of time, 1,300 or so were in Afghanistan. Under Trump, 11,764 were in Afghanistan. Pakistan under Obama was like 300, 400. It was 6 under Trump. Under Obama in Yemen, it was 164 or something. Under Trump, it was 172. Under Obama, it was 36 in Somalia. Under Trump, it was 160. The amount of attack in Afghanistan was the most excessive for both presidents. But with Donald Trump, it is a clear hate fucking of Afghanistan or people within it. Obviously, this would have to represent some major escalation in Afghanistan. I'm assuming this. But presuming that you can compare Trump personally authorizing what we know of almost twice as often as Obama in a shorter period of time, or the administration doing not 10 times as much damage, but a ridiculously large amount of damage, or just doing the same period of time, 1 every 1.5 days under Obama, 3 a day under Trump. And that's what we know about. And I'm using the same time spannings. I'm trying to get the numbers accurate. You could say that Obama didn't reveal any of this information, but we're talking about literally halfway through the total time, right? Some information was being revealed before Obama made the rule, and some was being revealed after Trump, obviously, or we wouldn't have it. Now that Trump is no longer in office, we can get access to that information. It can be subpoenaed, or it'll just simply be added to the records. So I get people posting, let it go, have some chamomile tea, let it go, love you, brother, prepare for difficult times, etc. ad nauseum. We're all in this together. Unification. I get people coming along for years telling me about how Obama caused mass murder because of drones, which are a bad thing. They shouldn't be used. A drone is a perfect vehicle for doing a precision attack. The trouble is, the way you do a precision attack and not get any innocence is making sure that the attack escalates from something that's not likely to kill anybody, so that everybody runs that doesn't want to be involved. It's an inordinately obvious thing in war. So that if you're in a populated area, people can try to go away, so you minimize the number of people who might get hurt if you drop a bomb on somebody by accident. Versus drones that by nature normally aren't known about until they blow up on your ass. They should be the most precise way to do it, but the trouble is they're not. It's precision bludgeoning. Sniper crowbar. It should be something we could use to make it to where we don't have anybody hurt that wasn't involved, but we do. I think they should be abolished. I don't think there should be any secrecy about using them, at least the statistics of how many are dropped, maybe the country, maybe the casualty level. This didn't remove us finding out how many people were innocents. But Trump is not getting us into any more wars. He didn't get us out of one. The only reason anybody was called home was as a fuck you. Hell, he even did a drone strike, authorized one, on purpose because it was not authorized and denied by Obama because there was a request and required a signature, and he said, no, under no circumstances, this isn't acceptable. But Trump allowed it. And everybody's spin doctoring this. The place I looked it up from is a place that originally started to shit on Obama. I'm pretty sure the numbers are accurate on Obama at that point. They don't like Trump. You could say they hate fucked him. But the problem here is the numbers have been corroborated a couple of places, but they won't tell me where they get their data from, but it's a source. And other people ask, is this accurate? Yes. And under Trump administration, they asked for anonymity. Under Obama administration, you found out their names. Trump is notorious for shredding paperwork that proves he even talked to somebody or made notes in crayon or whatever. And we have those notes only because it's legally required that every damn thing that Trump signs, reads, or touches be preserved for his presidential library. It sounds like a really neat idea, but really it's to make them held accountable. Anyone can review the presidency and its actions. We're requiring that. And Trump went out of his way while he was president to shred every fucking thing. But no, he was removing a superfluous and distracting rule that made it to where, as soon as he found out that he'd finally done something that made him look worse than Obama, he could bury it. And again, this information is going to be more and more accurate later because there's no way to really hide it. Remember when Orange Man lied over 4 years about literally everything? Remember when Orange Man caused an insurrection based on those lies? And the same person comes by and says, hey, let's talk about something else. Anyway, I posted the information under the conversation on one of my channels about this. I'm spreading out some of my videos on channels that weren't asking it because the subject matter is universally useful. Finding out that Donald Trump really did do, at bare minimum, twice as many drone strikes he's directly signed off on. Bare minimum here, because we know he lied afterwards. We know we don't have all the records. Or that his administration did, it's about 6 times as many drone attacks total in half the time. Yeah, 1,800 compared to 12,000. That makes the Trump administration 12 times as deadly with drone attacks as the Obama administration. Is that right? It can't be. It is. If he'd stayed in power, bare minimum, with this level of bloodshed, he would have had 24,000 drone strikes in 8 years versus the 8 years Obama was in place with 1,800. What pisses me off most about this is that it's so hard to get this information straight because he did that, because he made the rule change. And also that people spin doctorate. Even the website I'm getting the data from, they're at least static numbers, they don't change all the time, did it for a politically motivated reason. And they're mostly concerned with the victims. I mean, why should that matter when you're keeping score, right? But I did get the information from them, and I'm going to thank them for it. They collected it from several different sources, by the way. They call themselves the Bureau Investigates Project on drone strikes. I don't know how accurate it is. Please find me a better source. Trouble is, I've found this confirmed everywhere. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.